We don't need high player counts to be successful. Well,
Oh, the lie detector determined that was a lie.
that was a lie. March 12th marks the final day of Concord 2. What's it called? Highguard. Oh yeah, Highguard. Highguard was aborted post-birth on March 12th. Now, this should come to no surprise to anyone. The title started out strong with about 90,000 players on launch, which, for the final game revealed at the Game Awards, it's going to generate a lot of buzz. A lot of people are going to be interested in this new multiplayer shooter brought to you in part by the creators of the Titanfall franchise. Of course, they're just leeching off the good name of Titanfall to promote their game. And people saw through that. People played it. It was pretty ass, all things considered. The maps were way too large for 3-on-3 combat. I think the developers realized that. They added a 5v5 mode later on, but the hemorrhaging, the bleeding, it was too far gone. They were bleeding out and bleeding out fast, and as anyone could have predicted, you didn't need to be Nostradamus or Baba Vanga to predict that Highguard was going to fail. And just some of the idiotic comments, like the one I just read to you. We don't need a high player count to be successful. Who says that? An absolute moron does. A retard says something like that, and is probably part of the reason why Highguard is now done. Well, the 12th will be the official end date, but we are not going to see that year-long plan that Highguard and its developers had. Just so we can get more into this, I'm going to pull up an article. So we lead off with Highguard dev says it doesn't matter if the game reaches 1,000 or 100 million people. Bold strategy, Cotton. Really bold strategy. Well, we've found out how that played out. Your game shutting down on the 12th. So I guess you did need those people because your entire revenue stream is generated from people buying cosmetics. You're a free to play game. What do you mean you don't need a high player count? I guess you could have like 3 or 200 mega whales that are just dropping cosmetic money left and right, throwing caution to the wind. Here, take my money, please. I need more high guard and I need it now. But that wasn't the case here. Um, he added that his hope is that Highguard becomes a game that people love and becomes a part of them. Wow, real deep stuff there, Socrates. Calm down there. Highguard launched in late January and reached 100,000 peak concurrent players on Steam. A lot of people like to, when they drive by car accidents, they stop and go about 3 miles per hour and look just to see if they could see a glimpse of the accident. And everyone saw this accident coming. So everyone was waiting and tuning in to see just how bad of a car accident it was actually going to be. 100,000 concurrent players on Steam. These numbers do not tell the whole story, though, as Highguard is also available on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X/S. For this, lead designer Mohammed Alvi said, Wildlight was focused on finding a core passionate community and growing them over time. We don't need a high player count to be super huge in order to be successful. That was a lie. Also, in this interview, Dusty Welch said the team considered making Highguard a paid game as opposed to free. However, just didn't fit in with where we wanted to go as a company. And where you wanted to go was in the garbage can because that's where you ended up. Uh, so yeah, it mentions here the 5v5 mode that players were asking for. They realized that the 3v3 was just too empty. I turned out to go to GameSpot. It says the same thing, but I kind of wanted to get this last part, which for some reason this article has and the other article didn't have. Kind of weird. Not long after launch, Wildlight released a major update for Highguard for the 5v5, like I said. Um, the studio has already published a 2026 DLC roadmap that they're throwing in the trash can, which include more maps, characters, and weapons. Um, where was oh, right here. However, the game's Steam page scrubbed mention of Apex Legends and Titanfall after the game launched. Don't you find that interesting? Don't you find that suspicious? I find it suspicious. And with Concord 2 officially ending on the 12th, um, we have nothing to look forward to except for Marathon.